Creating a team is always one of the most fun aspects of starting a new Pokemon game. With all the options, every trainer has the possibility to create their own unique teams. But what if we wanted to use the best team to beat the game? What's good, Chaotic Nation? It's your boy, Chaos here, and we're answering that question of what is the best team for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I have made many of these best teams before, so make sure you check to see if we've covered your favorite game yet, or maybe that's something we'll cover if you leave a comment below and let me know that you want to see it. Anyways, the best team is a full 6 Pokemon team designed to take on the challenges of a particular Pokemon game. In this case, I've considered the gym leaders, team star leaders, Titan Pokemon, and other important battles such as the Elite Four and the AI. We've tested this team live here on the channel, and there's a link to that playlist in the description below. But for now, let's dive into the best team for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It should be noted that this team is built for both Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Thus, all of these Pokemon can be obtained in either version you decide to play. Every best team starts out with our first Pokemon, our starter Pokemon. Gen 9 has some excellent starter options, but one outclasses the other two in both versions you play, and when you go to pick your starter, you'll want to take Quaxly and add it to your team. Quaquaval should end up with Close Combat, Aqua Step, or Liquidation depending on what you choose, Ice Spinner, and Acrobatics. Since TMs can be found in multiple locations in these games, I will only be mentioning that they are moves taught via TM rather than including their location. Close Combat is learned at level 58, Aqua Step is learned upon evolution, Liquidation is learned at level 47, and Ice Spinner is a TM, and Acrobatics is learned at level 43. Quaquaval takes on Nemona's team, barring her Palmat, Katie's team, Brash's with Caution, Larry's team with Caution on Staraptor, Grusha's team, the Titans Cloth, Earthworm, and Great Tusk or Iron Treads, Giacomo with a fighting move early, Milla's team, Aries Lucario, Rika's team barring Clodsire, Poppy's team with some Caution, Larry's Elite Four team with some Caution, Hassel's team with some Caution, Gita's Go-Goat, Avalugg, Kingambit, and Glamora with Caution for some super effective moves, Arvin's team, Clavel's Abomasnow and Houndoom, Penny's Umbreon and Flareon, Sada's Slitherwing, Brute Bonnet, Sandy Shocks, and Roaring Moon with Caution, and Chiro's Iron Bundle and Iron Thorns with Caution. We get everything we need from this starter Pokemon, which is generally good for every fight in the game, making Quaxly an obvious choice for the pick of our team. Now for the rest of our team, I put the stipulation of catching all of the Pokemon before you take on the third gym, assuming you follow the stories in level order, meaning you take on the Team Star, the gyms, and the Titans in order based on level. We want to do this because the best team should be a team that covers the entire game, not just only parts of the game. With some exceptions in previous iterations of the series, this game is one that you can access the whole map, so we're going to just start from the third gym, and we'll move on from there. One of our earliest encounters you can grab is a Paldean Wooper between the tower that you start at and Los Platos. Clodsire should get Earthquake, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, or Stone Edge depending on what accuracy roll you want to take, and Toxic Spikes. Earthquake is learned at level 48, Poison Jab is learned at level 24, Rock Slide and Stone Edge are TMs, and Toxic Spikes is learned at level 12. You can run Toxic if you want. I've just found that Toxic Spikes is more easily used because you might have to use Clodsire to sacrifice somewhere and you want to guarantee that you can get Toxic on things. But you can use Toxic if you decide. I just think Toxic Spikes is better. Clodsire deals with Nemona's Lycanroc and Palmat with Caution. This is also the best way to deal with Nemona in the beginning because of her Palmat that Terra Electrics. Brashis with Caution. Iono's team, Kofu if you are running Water Absorb, which is the best ability and you should be running it, so it should be able to deal with Kofu's team. The Titans Cloth, Iron Treads, Donzozo, and Tatugiri if needed. Giacomo's Poniard, Mella's team, Atticus's team, Ortega's team, Rika's Camerupt and Clodsire, Poppy's team barring Bronzong, Larry's team if needed, Hassel's Noivern, Dragalge and Flapple, Gita's Kingambit and Glamora, Arvin's Garganacl, Clavel's Gyarados and Houndoom, Penny's Jolteon, Flareon, Leafeon, and Sylveon, Sada's Fluttermane and Sandy Shocks, and Churro's Iron Moth, and Iron Hands and Iron Thorns. Next up is another easy encounter in Charcadet, which you can find pretty much everywhere on the map in one specific location because it has an overworld spawn. Both Armorage and Cellular are the best for their particular roles by being fire types that also deal with psychic types. So it doesn't matter in this case what version of the game we're playing, we're going to use whichever one's available to us. For Armorage, we use Flamethrower, Armor Cannon, Psychic, and Dark Pulse. Flamethrower is learned at level 48, Armor Cannon is learned at level 62, and Psychic and Dark Pulse are both TMs. For Sacrilege, use Bitter Blade, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, and Psycho Cut or Dragon Claw depending on which coverage you need more in each situation. They can be interchanged per different battles as they are needed. Bitter Blade is learned at level 48, Shadow Sneak is learned at level 1 as a relearn move, Shadow Claw is learned upon evolution, Psycho Cut is learned at level 56, and Dragon Claw is ATM. Both of these mons help with Nemona's Earthworm, Palmot, and Skeletor's with Caution, Katie's team, Brash's team, watch out for his Sawudo, Rhyme's team with Caution, Tulip's team, Grush's team, the Titan's Earthworm, and Great Tusk or Iron Treads, Giacomo's Poniard, Mela's team if needed, Atticus's team, barring Skung Tank, Ortega's Wigglytuff and the Starmobile, Ares' team, be careful with Toxicroak because it does have Sucker Punch and it will KO you, Rika's team, Poppy's team, Larry's Tropius, Hassle's Dragalge and Flapple if needed, Gita's Espathra, Gogoat, Avalugg, and Kingambit, Arvin's Scovillain and Toadscroll, Clavel's team barring his Gyarados and Houndoom, Penny's Leafeon, Sada's Slitherwing, Screamtail, Brute Bonnet with Caution, and Churro's Iron Valiant. You might have to travel a bit to get to your next mon, which can be found outside of Cortando, but get yourself 2 Eevees and grab a Thunderstone and an Ice Stone for our next 2 team members. But we'll start with Jolteon first. Jolteon should end up with Thunderbolt, Discharge, Shadow Ball, and Thunder Wave. Thunderbolt is a TM, Discharge is learned at level 40, Shadow Ball is a TM, and Thunder Wave is learned at level 20. With these moves, Jolteon deals with Nemona Skeledirge if needed, Kofu's team, Rhyme's team, Tulip's team barring her Farigiraf, the Titan's Bombardier, Donzozo, and Tatsugiri, Ortega's Azumarill, Ares' Annihilate, Poppy's Bronzong and Corviknight, Larry's team, Hassle's Noivern, Gita's Espathra and Veluza, Arvin's Cloyster, Clavel's Poltergeist and Gyarados, Penny's Vaporeon, Sada's Screamtail, and Churro's Iron Bundle and Iron Jugulus. Our other evolution is Glaceon that knows Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, Shadow Ball, and Ice Shard. Ice Beam and Shadow Ball are TMs, Freeze Dry is learned at level 40, and Ice Shard is learned at level 20. Glaceon helps with Nemona's Goodra, Brash's team with Caution on Sawudo, Iono's Watchroll, Rhyme's team, Tulip's team barring Farigiraf, Titan Pokemon Bombardier, Dondozo, and Tatsugiri, Ortega's Azumarill, Rika's team barring Camerupt, Larry's team with Caution for some fighting moves, Hassle's team, Gita's Gogoat and Veluza, Arvin's Toadscroll, Clavel's Gyarados and Meowscarada, Penny's Vaporeon and Leafeon, Sada's team with Screamtail, Brute Bonnet, Fluttermane, Sandy Shocks, and Roaring Moon, all of those with some Caution, and Churro's Iron Bundle and Iron Jugulus. We have one final team member to add, and this is particularly helpful in the Scarlet version, as since we're adding another Ghost type in Mimikyu. I will say that Mimikyu should be on the team regardless of the version you're playing because you're going to need the fairy coverage as well. Mimikyu should end up with Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, Blade Rough, and Woodhammer. Shadow Claw is learned at level 42, Shadow Sneak is learned at level 6, Blade Rough is learned at level 54, and Woodhammer is a level 1 relearn move. Mimikyu helps with Nemona's Goodra, Palmot, Kofu's team, Larry's Gym team, Rhyme's team, Tulip's team barring her Farigiraf, the Titan's Great Tusk, and Donzozo and Tatsugiri, Ares' team, watching out for the Toxicroak as mentioned before, Rika's team barring her Camerupt and Clodsire, Larry's Elite Four team, Hassle's team barring Dragalge, Gita's Espathra and Veluza, Clavel's Poltergeist, Penny's Umbreon, Sada's Screamtail, Fluttermane, and Roaring Moon, and Churro's Iron Hands, Iron Jugulus, and Iron Valiant. Well, that is the best team for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and let me know what game I should cover next. As always, you can watch the live playlist in the description for individual instances of using the team. So if you want to check a fight, if you want to check a battle and say, how does this actually work, that's a great place to look at research that we've done live here on the channel. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and feel free to join the channel to help support us in what we do here. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Chaos, signing off. Stay safe, and as always, burn it up.